Hello and a warm welcome to another edition of My Road program, brought to you with the compliments of the National Road Fund Agency, NRFA, and the Road Development Agency, RDA. The program is designed to look at various aspects pertaining to the road sector in Zambia. On today's program, we look at the National Tolling Program. My guest studio is the Director of Construction and Rehabilitation, Engineer George Manyele. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Patricia.
Okay. And I'm your presenter, Patricia Ellis. Now, Engineer Manyele, give us an overview of the construction of toll plazas or toll stations in the country.
Thank you. The Road Development Agency draws its mandate from the Public Roads Act number 12 of 2002. There are specific functions of the agency which include the planning, care, construction and maintenance of various public roads. And as part of its wider mandate, the Road Development Agency has been constructing toll plazas across the country in line with the directive of government to roll out toll plazas across the country. Through this program so far, we have constructed a number of toll plazas, which include Shimabala, Mumbwa, Chongwe, and Katuba. These toll stations are fully operational, and quite recently, another one was commissioned at Michael Chirufyasata in the Copper Belt. This one has also become operational. There are a number of other toll plazas which are under construction at different levels of completion. I might cite some of them as Choma, Kafulafuta, Ganaton, Humphrey Mulemba, and another one in Solwezi. These are bigger type of toll plazas. We have also got some smaller toll stations, such as at Chembe, Kalense. We have one on the Livingstone Zimba Road. Altogether, there are about 16 such smaller types of toll stations, which will have a different configuration from the major ones that I mentioned earlier. So we are on course in terms of rolling out the toll plaza construction.
Now, in terms of scope of works, what is really involved in the construction of the toll plazas?
In the construction of the toll plazas, first of all, we have civil works. We have the control buildings. We have the wall fence, which demarcates or separates the toll station from the rest of the area. And then we have the superstructure, such as the canopy. We have the toll booths. We have the crash barriers. We have the service lanes on which motorists drive to be serviced at the toll station.
Okay. And what is the cost profile of the toll plazas, or do they differ in terms of structural design?
The cost structure differs depending on the site where the construction is taking place. As you may know, there are different prevailing conditions. One of the things we look for is when we identify a route where we're going to put a toll plaza, we don't want the toll plaza to be bypassed by traffic easily. That way we will have leakage in terms of revenue which government is supposed to collect at those toll stations. So then we have different classes of roads. There are roads which are the dual carriageway type, the single carriageway types. So we look at the projected traffic in a particular location to determine the number of lanes that we are going to provide for at a particular toll station. The control buildings are fairly standard, but the actual toll facility may have differences depending on the class of road, the expected traffic, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Engineer Manyele, thank you very much. But just now we will go to watch a package that was done regarding the toll plazas around the country. Now, with that said, let's just now get to the site to get a practical feel of what Engineer Manyele is talking about, just as a highlighter. Take a look. Zambia has witnessed unprecedented growth in the road construction industry in the recent past, taking advantage of its strategic geographic position. At the center of this growth are key road projects which include Link Zambia 8000, Pave Zambia 2000, Lusaka 400, Copperbelt 400, and other annual work plan related road activities aimed at transforming the country from landlocked to land-linked and provide easy access to social and economic centers and connection to regional trade corridors.
I should say these are some of the programs that we have been implementing as a road development agency. These include the Link Zambia 8000, where so far we have done about 767 kilometers, and what is the activities for implementation are about 5,103 kilometers. We have also done quite some substantial work with other projects, such as the Pave Zambia 2000. We have other projects in the country which are related to the annual work plan for the agency. Every year we do have annual work plans. And I should also mention that we have the Pave Zambia 2000 project. That is another project that we are implementing as a road development agency. We do have other projects such as the improved rural connectivity project. And this is to do with feeder roads or rural roads in the country, and we have a role to play. We do have other projects such as the Kazungula Bridge, which is another of those major projects that we are doing as the Road Development Agency. So we are implementing quite a number of projects.
The huge investment in road upgrades and construction is being complemented by a sustainable financing mechanism to maintain the new and existing network and increase the lifespan of Zambia's core road network. In coming up with the innovative ways of raising funds to not only upgrade, rehabilitate and construct, but most importantly maintain the country's road network, the National Road Tolling Program fits perfectly as a homegrown solution to road maintenance. A toll road, also known as a turnpike or tollway, is a public road for which a fee or toll is accessed for passage. It is a form of road pricing typically implemented to help recoup the cost of road construction, rehabilitation and maintenance. Toll roads have existed in some form since time immemorial worldwide, with tolls levied on passing motor vehicles of all classifications. Tolls are often collected at toll booths, plazas, stations or gates.
From the time we started implementing the National Road Tolling Program, we have had great support from the Zambian people, and the government has managed to mobilize resources locally using a local initiative, and from the mobilized resources you can see that there are some benefits which are accruing to the nation. Some of the benefits include a well-maintained road network, which inevitably translates into reduced vehicle operating costs and also reduced travel times, and basically also creation of employment for the citizenry. Apart from that, the National Road Tolling Program has greatly contributed to rehabilitation and maintenance of our road network. I think in the previous interview we talked about the Chingola-Solwezi Road. That road basically in terms of its maintenance is anchored on the National Road Tolling Program. The recently works which were done on the Kafue-Mazabuka section of the road, all those are current visible benefits of the National Road Tolling Program. In addition to that, the sector agencies have come up with an initiative in terms of making sure that the collected revenues are prudently applied. This initiative is called the ROTOMAP, Road Tolling Maintenance Program. Most of the local authorities are benefiting from this initiative, and there are a number of roadwork interventions currently being carried out across the country.
Since the introduction of the National Road Tolling Program in 2011, the Road Development Agency RDA has made a lot of strides in the construction of toll plazas in the country. In 2017, the first conventional toll plazas were commissioned by His Excellency the President, Mr. Edgar Lungu, namely Katuba, Shimabala, Mumbwa, and Chongwe. Other toll plazas that are operational include the Booth and Boom plazas at Manyumbi and Kafulafuta, and an additional 3 simplified toll stations at Kalense, Katenshi, and Chembe with way bridges in Kazungula, Kapirimposhi, Livingston, and Mpika. Most recently, the Michael Chilufya Sata Toll Plaza was commissioned, situated on the Ndola Kitwe dual carriageway.
It's quite a number of different types of toll plazas. There are conventional toll plazas and the simplified one. The conventional ones, these are massive structures that include construction of the canopy, the touring system, the surveillance system, and a control building, which has the components enhanced in there. Then the simplified one, we only have a boom and a small structure for people that are collecting the toll fees.
Other toll stations expected to be commissioned in the coming year include Choma, Solwezi Mtanda, renamed as the Humphrey Mlemba Toll Plaza, Garnaton, Kapirimposhi, Chipata Katete, Chiwoko, Nyimba, Petauke, Kamiza, Zimba, Livingston, and Chilonga. The construction and operationalization of the National Road Tolling Program in the country has undergone different phases, as explained.
At the close of the year 2017, we had a total of 9 inland tolling stations. So we have gone through phases in as far as the National Tolling Program is concerned. And I should also say that as RDA, through the Tolls Act number 14 of 2016, RDA does the construction of the toll plazas throughout the country, and these toll plazas are categorized in different categories, and then the NRIFA, that is the National Road Fund Agency, are the lead tolls agent. So they collect the tolls on behalf of the Road Development Agency.
In 2017, the NRFA introduced 3 different types of toll station categories based on traffic volumes measured in vehicles per day. This was meant to achieve operational efficiencies as well as improve commercial viability of operating the toll infrastructure, because resources allocated on each facility are differently related to the physical features such as the number of lanes.
From 2013 to date, we are operating 3 different types of toll stations. We have got the Class A toll station, Class B toll station, and Class C. The major distinction between these toll stations is premised on the traffic volume. The Class A toll stations are generally what we call the conventional standard toll plazas. These are toll stations with the daily traffic volumes averaging above 3,000 and above. Class B, you have toll stations which we call the Booth and Boom, with the traffic volumes between 1,000 to 2,900. And the Class C, what we call the simplified, which generally carry traffic volumes on a daily basis of between 250 to 1,000.
The tracking of funds from collection points, ring fencing the road fund, control of its usage, and later dispersing it to the intended contracted roadworks and transport services is ably managed by the road fund management. The local resources of tolling revenue, among others, are dedicated towards the routine and periodic maintenance of the road network. Financing key road programs, which include Copperbelt 400 to the tune of $492 million and the Zambian urban roads costing $232 million, the linked Zambia 8,000 road project worth $25 billion and other annual work plan programs.
January to October, under the last 10 months, the agency has collected around the 718 million kwacha. This is at both the inland toll stations and port of entry toll stations. Remember, at ports of entry, foreign vehicles pay for transit tolls. So we account for these tolls as well. So in total, I've collected about 718 million kwacha.
The Road Development Agency RDA is in the process of introducing the weigh-in motion technology at all toll plazas across the country. The introduction of the weigh-in motion technology is aimed at protecting major road networks from premature damage. It is expected that transporters will adhere to the provisions of the Public Road Maximum Weight of Vehicles as per regulations. The initiative will help curb corruption in an event that transporters underpay the required maximum weights and dimensions of vehicles permissible for transmission on public roads at the weighbridge.
We are looking at introducing weigh-in-motion technology. This weigh-in-motion technology is going to be installed on all the network of toll plazas that we have constructed and being operated by the National Road Fund Agency. Currently, we've got 11 across the country, and the development of toll plazas is actually faster than the weigh bridges. In this aspect, we are going to introduce the platforms whereby your vehicle does not need to come to an abrupt stop for us to be able to capture the information regarding gross vehicle mass as well as loading attributed to the axles. And apart from just getting the axle loading, we'll be able to also look at other features such as the size, the width, and the length of vehicles, because all those, they fall under abnormal loads and they require special permits which are issued by the Road Development Agency.
The Michael Chilufya Sata Toll Plaza is so far the country's biggest toll station, and it spans across 2 dual carriageways. A fully fledged plaza with features that include a canopy, control building, surveillance system, and an advanced toll management system, among others.
This is a toll plaza that was commissioned on the 4th of November 2018 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia. And I should say that it's the largest toll plaza, and it spans across the dual carriageways of Ndola and Kitwe. It has approach bays of where it can accommodate 4 vehicles at any given time in one direction and the other 4 in the other direction. And this particular plaza was designed to accommodate over 17,000 vehicles per day.
The construction of the toll plazas in the country is an ongoing exercise, and the target is to construct 40 toll stations throughout the country. The selection of the roads along which the toll plazas are being constructed depend on the economic viability of the roads. Measures have been put in place to cushion the negative impact by providing a discount for frequent road users and local road users residing within 10 kilometers radius of the tolls facilities. There is no doubt the Road Tolling Maintenance Program, ROTOMAP of National Road Fund Agency, which is enshrined in the Road Development Agency Road Maintenance Strategy, is helping in carrying out pothole patching, road markings and signage, and construction of speed humps on roads adjacent to tolled roads, and ultimately the tolls are truly a homegrown solution to road maintenance. Welcome back. That was a report on the toll plazas around the country. Now, Engineer Manyele, what do you make of that package on the toll plazas? I want you to zero in on the Michael Chilufya Sata toll plaza, which has been in the media lately. What is the true cost of the plaza?
In the case of the Michael Chilufya Sata toll plaza, let me maybe start with explaining how do we arrive at the cost of any facility or any works that we do. The first thing that we do is to arrive at the concept. What do we want to achieve? In this particular case, we are talking of servicing 17,000 vehicles per day. So what sort of structure do we require to service such a high volume of traffic in a given day? That informs how many lanes we're going to put to ensure that we don't have a queue of traffic in the process of serving. So the Michael Chilufya-Sata Toll Plaza has got 4 lanes in one direction and 4 lanes out in the opposing direction. It is sitting on a high-class road. We call it the T3. This is a high-class road carrying local and international traffic linking us to other countries. So the design of this structure is robust enough to service all these motor vehicles that are passing. In terms of how we arrive at the price, we have a design and then we break it down into work units in what is called a bill of quantities. After we have developed a bill of quantities, we use a solicitation document approved by the Zambia Public Procurement Authority to call for the pricing from prospective contractors or bidders. And once we have received the pricing, we go through an evaluation process to arrive at the best evaluated bidder. And what we arrive at as the best evaluated bidder becomes the recommended contractor, and that price becomes the contract price. So in the case of the Michael Chilufya-Sata Toll Plaza, the bid from AVIC was the best evaluated bid at a cost of $4.3 million.
Okay. Now, having broken it down like that, still, I asked the question, $4.3 million. Isn't that exorbitant?
The price is broken into separate bills in terms of the actions that are required from the contractor. So the civil works component on this project was quoted at $1.85 million. The buildings were quoted at 707,000 United States dollars. The tolling system, the system which makes the toll plaza to function, costs 161,000 United States dollars. The power supply and the related installations, $270,000. The signal light and system for traffic control costs $58,000. The surveillance system costs $143,000. The design fee was $95,000. And then the preliminary and general items cost $319,000. VAT was quoted at $602,000, whereas the contingency on the project, which is a common feature on all the projects, was $159,000. That is the breakdown of the $4.3 million.
Engineer Manyele, as we come to the end of the program, what is the future like for the road tolling in Zambia?
The government of the Republic of Zambia has resolved to roll out the toll plazas across the country, and the Road Development Agency is determined to play its part in actualizing the vision of the government to roll out toll stations across the country. For a long time now, the funding mechanism for our roads has been the traditional releases from the Treasury. Government has explored the alternative methods of financing, and one such is the government program on toll plazas. So we are resolved to construct the toll plazas in line with the directive of the government and roll them out to different parts of the country. That is the future of toll plazas in Zambia.
Okay. Engineer Manyele, thank you very much for making an appearance on My Road program.
Thank you very much.
And we wish you all the best in your future endeavors to transform the country into a truly land-linked country.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I was speaking to Engineer George Manyele from the RDA. He's the Director, Rehabilitation and Construction. On that note, we would like to come to the end of My Road today. And This program was sponsored by the NRFA and RRDA. Join us next week for another exciting edition of My Road program. I'm Patricia Ellis. Bye-bye and pleasant viewing.